Good morning. How are you? Happy February. Welcome to our Driven Family Powwow. This is your National Sales Director, Auri Hathaway. And I just want to tell you, thank you so much for getting up so early and for powwowing with us here. Our Driven family has a huge goal this year, as many of you know, and that is to be a Diamond Circle National Area Top 10 in the Emerald Seminar. And so we come together as a family once a month to really just break down how we can have the most powerful month ever. I think that when you realize that you are a part of a whole, that you matter so much more than you probably give yourself credit for. You know, this Mary Kay thing may be something that you're passionate about, but you wish you were doing more, or you feel guilty for not doing more, right? I think sometimes we can guilt ourselves. But this month being the month of love, and it doesn't just end on Valentine's Day, I really want you to think about all the reasons that you truly love your Mary Kay business. For those of you that were at January Jumpstart or you went to a January Jumpstart near you, congratulations. And I know that all that attended January Jumpstart are already registered for your career conference. Local career conferences are happening next month. Registration deadline is when they sell out or by the end of this month. So you want to get registered because truly you cannot bottle up a Mary Kay event and take it home. And at our January Jumpstart, we were meeting the DIQs, and probably the greatest impact I had that day was made by Candy Coleman, a DIQ in the Rosie Acevedo unit. And she was asked how she knew what was different to become a Mary Kay sales director. And so whether you're thinking about directorship or not, use this as a way to think about your month of February. And Rosie asked her a great coaching question. She said, okay, tell me, and Candy's a banker, and she said, tell me all the things that your career at this bank has provided for you. And, you know, Candy was able to talk about security and income and professional growth and these things that were tangible. And then Rosie asked her, now tell me the things that Mary Kay has provided for you. And Candy said that she was speechless. She really didn't have words. Have you ever felt something so profoundly in your heart that it had no way to be verbalized? You couldn't make words around it. And there's a reason why it's very hard to put words around something that's emotional. And I want to make sure that you capture this, because if you're trying to explain to your husband, your best friend, your loved ones, your family members, your coworkers, how you feel about Mary Kay, what it has done for you, how it has brought you out, grown you, stretched you, given you hope, giving you an inspiration again, this is why it is hard to put it into words, because your emotions actually live in a part of your brain. Your why lives in a part of your brain called your limbic brain, and your limbic brain has no vocabulary. It has no language. It is really difficult to stretch what lives in there and put it into tangible words. And so I love that Candy said that. She's like, I had no words. I knew it, I could feel it, but I couldn't express it. And I think so many times that is how we feel about the things we're the most passionate about. So how can we express it if we're not getting words? And here it is. This is how you're going to show your love for Mary Kay in the month of February. You're not going to express it in words. You're going to show it in action. Your action speaks louder than your words anyway, does it not? I mean, I can tell you that I want to be a healthy person, that I struggle with my health, or you could see me just making healthy choices, right? You could see that I'm up early walking or eating my healthy foods, staying away from soda. I could tell you all I want, that I want to earn a car, or I can just show you through my actions. And so I'm going to challenge you that in the month of love, if you really feel love for this, then show it the love, show others the love. Stop trying to put words around it and express what Mary Kay has done for you, but truly be an example. This morning in my devotional, I was reading about being an example. And I think being an example is biblical, but it's also what Mary Kay Ash herself taught us. She taught us that in this world, we lead by example, by example, and by example. And today to train us, I am so excited. It's our future national, Christine Denton Barrueco, and she's going to talk about her personal example. Before we have Christine jump on, in case if you did not know, I just want to share a few really exciting things that are happening in the world of Mary Kay. And that is that in this month, and I'll share it with you guys here on the screen so that you can see it. In this month, Mary Kay has given us a starter kit opportunity. And this is a bonus that comes inside the kit, and it brings an additional $80 of product. That means that we have a $480 valued starter kit that's close to $500 for the same initial investment of 100 plus tax and shipping. This is for the month of February only. The offer does end February 28th. They will receive 2 over-the-top phenomenal products, the the tone correcting serum, and they will also receive the and you know what? It is not $80. I apologize. I thought that was the Serum C. It's the tone correcting serum, and the vitamin C squares for $69 in additional product. I apologize about that. Those Serum C squares are amazing. They are the things that help your skin build collagen. Collagen is the building block of your skin. It's what keeps it firm, elastic, and from sagging, okay? And this is what women want. So this is called your triangle of youth. And once you start to see the triangle, your youth is departing, and you need Serum C, and you need vitamin C squares and all that stuff. And the tone correcting serum, of course, is to even out your skin tone, which we love, okay? So that is like the first announcement that I wanted to make. And then the second one is, I know that you know this, but Mary Kay has given us a cruise, and are you on board? Okay. I know you've probably heard a lot about this cruise, but I just want you to know people have already earned it. The first winner was announced on January 20th or January 18th, I believe it was. It's called Destination Red. And if you don't know who you're going with, get committed about who's going, ask for the time off, make sure they ask for the time off, make a commitment to attend, and dig in your heels, because this is huge and it is not really difficult to earn. I promise you that. It might seem difficult to you, but you're going to learn now from our future national, Christine Denson, on how to earn this cruise, okay? So, and it's going to be through the work of consistency. So I sent out in the message that successful people do consistently what others do occasionally. If there is a way I could describe our future national Christine, it is exactly with those words. She does consistently what other people do occasionally. At January Jumpstart, I talked about the 3 reasons that we fail, and it's about setting who you're becoming instead of do goals. And I talked about that. You know, we all have very similar goals, right? Like we all want to live healthy. We all want to have successful relationships. Relationships are the most important thing to us, but we also want to have success in life, right? And be able to provide for our family. So if the whole world across the board has similar goals, why do so few people reach those goals? And it is not because we don't set high enough goals. We do not rise to the level of our goals. We fall back to the level of our systems, right? And I'll just give you a simple example. One of them is, I don't buy junk food because I don't buy junk food when I get a craving, because I do get cravings. I'm a human being. I want to eat chocolate and Snickers and all these things. The only thing on my desk is my raw almonds, so I'm eating raw almonds. It's not like I'm so disciplined or so much better or so awesome or so, I'm not rising to the level of this goal that I've set before me. I'm falling back on the level of the system that I have chosen to put into place so that I stay consistent, so that I have the success, so that I stay healthy. My health is so important because I know the mission God has given to me. I must carry it out. If I don't have my health, I have nothing. Besides that, I must be an example, as we were talking about, to others. So today, Christine is going to talk about the power of consistency, and she's going to give you some tips on the systems she has in place, because you want to copy the right cat. And trust me, this is the right cat. Christine just celebrated her 10-year anniversary with Mary Kay. So exciting. She has earned the use, is it 6 Mary Kay career cars? 7 Mary Kay career cars, 5 being the beautiful pearl pink Cadillac. She is an elite executive senior national sales director with Mary Kay Cosmetics. And at Leadership Conference, she was invited to the NSD suite to try on the brand new national sales director suit. We had so much fun back there. Her highest love check for 1 month, you guys, has been over $33,000. She has earned many carats and diamonds. She has traveled 5-star all paid luxury vacations for her and her extremely supportive husband, Robert, to Monaco, Provence, France, to Hawaii, to Beijing, China, and this past year to Argentina. She is a fearless leader. That doesn't mean she doesn't feel fear. She does it in spite of the fear. She is courageous. She's an inspired person. I am committed to placing in front of you only the best people who live inspired lives. May you be inspired. Take out your notebook, take out your pens, and get ready to learn from consistency from our future national. Christine, take it away, girl.
Yay. Can you hear me? Good morning. Oh, good morning. Good morning. Okay, so I am just honored, Ari. Thank you for the opportunity. I feel like every time you ask me to train on a topic, it gives me time for reflection. It gives me time to take an introspective look at what's working. And I challenge you all to do that because I think it really makes you realize, what am I doing that's working? What am I doing that I want to continue? So I have the privilege, let me just open up my notes here. I am so excited to share a little bit about the habits and the things that, you know, create the days that are powerful. And I just want you to know that when Ari asked me about this topic, I've always been, as a high I personality, the word systems when I was a new consultant shut me down, and I've learned to embrace systems. I'm so glad and grateful that God put me with the national that is really great and gifted with systems. And for me, the way I saw it to free me was more that I just need structure as an individual. You know, we grow up in a structured life. Like since we're babies, you know, babies need structure, right? They need their days planned, like when they feed, when they nap, and they're happier in their routine, don't they? They need routine. And so do when we go to school, like that's all we know. We go in a structured routine, like we have lunch at the same time every day and we go to home the same time every day. And I feel like when I embraced my business, even when it was part-time for the few days that it was before I got laid off to the full time, I think the biggest thing that I learned right away was I needed structure. So if that helps you a little bit, because I know the word systems, what I'm going to share with you is my structure, which apparently are my systems, because it helps me see it in that way too. Because you know what, the structure I need in order to keep the freedom that I want. So with that said, I kind of broke it down into a couple of things. I broke down my mind, like the structure of things that I do to fill my mind weekly, daily. I broke down the things that I delegate because that can help me free me to do the things that I really need to do and want to do. I broke down also into my planning, like where my planning comes in. And I want to talk to you about my schedule because I think that sometimes we get really struggle on the schedule. We're always trying to improve the schedule, be tighter with our schedule. And so I think that will really help me show you where I create structure in my day because I think that's what we need, you know, the systems. And so as we are consistent. And so one of the first things here in my mind, when it comes to my mind, oh my gosh, the first and most important, I'm going to name you a couple of things, but the first thing every day that is a non-negotiable for me in my mind is getting my mind in the right place with the Lord first thing in the morning. You know, for me, that's a non-negotiable how I start my day. I'm part of a Bible study, and I do that on purpose because I always wanted to I need structure to have so that I can dive into my Bible. If not, I don't know where to start in my Bible. I have devotionals. I've done that for a long time. I've done little inserts, but I wanted to dig deeper into the Bible. So for me, being part of a Bible study group where I'm held accountable created that structure for me. So I have a 15-minute lesson and I pray for at least 15 minutes, sometimes more. But what that does for me, it helps me when I make him when I'm worshiping God, the central part of my day, it makes worship the part of my identity, my priority, my motives, my plans, my pleasures. It really makes me more peaceful in the day. It gives me more joy in my day because I have a proper perspective for my day. I'm not as worried about things, or I don't feel the anxiety that I would about things, and I don't feel as restless or just all over the place, which is so easy for me to do as a high I personality. So it helps me really center myself and start my day the right way. So my question to you is, as you hear the things that I share, I don't want you to feel like you have to copy me. I just want you to ask yourself these questions. What are you doing in this category of your life? Do you have a system for this? Do you have a structure for this? And for me, that is the most important part of my day. And if the day doesn't start right, and my goodness, sometimes it doesn't. And if it doesn't, I don't get off the right foot. You know what? Sometimes Jenny, my sister, will see me and my husband will see me say, I just have to have my quiet time. I know it's 11 o'clock. It hasn't happened yet. And if I don't have 15 minutes with God, it's not going to be the right day. So I just know that when I have a bad day or having a moment, I just pray and I go back to that focus point. So what is that thing for you, right? Do you have that thing for you that gets you centered and aligned? And maybe you need that structure to be held accountable. So The next thing that really helps me in my mind is actually going to the gym at least 3 times a week. Gosh, before kids, I can tell you that I was at the gym almost every day. And sometimes I would go twice a day. Is that crazy? Gosh, I just loved working out. It gives my mind clear. But with kids, your schedule gets a little different, and I'm not making them as an excuse. But I will tell you, my priority right now is 3 days a week. So we go, my husband and I go together. Makes us more accountable, makes me accountable, makes him go because I like to go and make him go with me. So we go Mondays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays together right after drop off. And yes, eventually I want to do that earlier in the morning, but I enjoy that time with my husband. We go to the gym, we'll have our workout different plans, and we get back together. And maybe for your schedule that doesn't allow that, but going early, before this would go really early. I've done the 5 a.m. club with the gym. But for this season of my life, I love spending that time with my husband. Next, I read 15 minutes of a book before bed. I've tried the morning, I've done the morning, but I will do 15 minutes before bed. I'll just read a few pages before I fall asleep. And I remember I'm thinking of the most positive things. I'm reading leadership books. That's what motivates and excites me. I will add one more thing when it comes to the mind. I do, when I'm working out, listen to podcasts, any speeches I haven't heard yet from Mary Kay, our trainings, videos to catch up on, because while I'm working out, I maximize that time. So those are 3 things that I simply do to get my mind in the right place all the time and plugging into the right sources. The next thing I'll tell you is delegation. Oh, I delegate a lot. I've always, I don't know, I've always embraced delegation. I never really had an issue thinking that I had to do everything. And I hope that passes something on to you. I delegate a lot. So if you can at least pick up one of these things or 2 of these things, I think it can make a difference for some of you. And I want you to know that these things might sound like they cost a lot, but they cost me more time to do them than it is to not do them. So here I delegate number 1, I have an assistant. I've had an assistant for 9.5 years. I've been Mary Kay for 10 years. I've had an assistant for a long time. Even my first assistant was my mom's friend's daughter, who was a college student. And gosh, she just helped me back then we coached with postcards only. So there wasn't any the invitation was in the mail, not necessarily on an Instagram or, your little pic collage. So she would help me with my party bag prep, my inventory, putting my customers in the system. I actually can tell you that I've put very few customer profile cards in any system. My mom was my first helper and then my assistant. So gosh, what could you delegate? It never really cost much to do that. Now with a bigger business, I choose to delegate more because I want to spend the time with my kids and do what I'm good at, which is book, coach, sell, recruit, and encourage and find leaders and develop leaders. But if it's not that, I don't need to be touching it. So what can you delegate more? I also delegate the laundry and cleaning of my home. At one point, it was every other week when it was just my husband and I. When we got kids, and it became every week. And then now that our nanny schedule has changed, we do twice a week. So we have a cleaning lady that comes on Tuesday, and she'll do all the laundry for the week. And she also comes Friday to tidy up before the weekend, because between Tuesday and Friday, a lot can happen. So that helps us to get, focus on what I need to focus on and not laundry, which drains me and doesn't make me happy. Also, I do have a nanny. I've had a nanny since my daughter was 6 months old to give me freedom, to have somebody here. That was just something right for me so that I could work and still have her here and then spend time when I wanted to. But I had an important phone call, I could have her there. Having 2 small ones at home, that was a priority for me. And with my husband working from home also. So we have 2 home businesses here. So we did need some help. And so with that said, my son started school this year. And so that changed a few things. So we do have help with a nanny from 4:30 to 7 p.m. every day. And those are prime time right now that we prioritize just having some extra help, extra hands. Doesn't mean I'm not there for the feeding or for the bath time, but I need some extra hands in case I do have an important call that can only be had at 4:30 and my kids are home, and I want to make sure that they're being taken care of too. So those are my delegations. Also, when it comes to planning, I will tell you, gosh, I plan at the beginning of each month. I look forward to the first of the month just to sit down and to plan, get my 99-cent notebook out. This is like my one for this month. So get my 99-cent notebook out. Sometimes I'll splurge and spend $1 something on them because they're cuter, like this one. But, get my notebook out and plan the month. What is my priority for the month? What is my overall goal? Like for this cruise this month, what do I need to get there? How many faces does it look like? How many parties will I hold in lieu of the goal? And who are the hostesses I'm working on? And who am I moving up the career path? So, because you're moving people up the career path into Red Jacket for that cruise, aren't you? So really planning the month. You haven't done it. If you didn't do it yesterday, do it today. What a perfect day to plan your month, right? If you need help, talk to your director. It's simple. It's just a notebook, nothing crazy. And you have your amazing planner that our amazing national gave you. What a perfect way to plan your month and your year, right? So every night, each Sunday, my next part of planning is every Sunday I do a brain dump. So Sunday's my day off, but I do take 30 minutes to an hour where I can just dedicate once the kids go to bed to planning my week. So the kids won't feel it. They'll be in bed and my husband is usually catching up with some stuff. So that's when I take an hour to plan my week. And every night, I don't care how late it is. I don't care if it's 15 minutes, 20 minutes, or if it needs to be an hour for that day, but I dedicate a few minutes to plan my next day. That is probably my most important tip I can give somebody who needs some help with creating a system. That is the most important system I will tell you, besides putting God first, is having your 6 most important things to do list done every night. And if you need to revisit Mary Kay University to figure out what to put in that, but it's who you're booking, who are you coaching, who are you sharing the opportunity with? Who are you selling to and following up with? It's the income producing activities that really help you narrow your date. And then putting the most important first, like booking, right? So my 6 most important things to do list. Also, I personally set aside a time with my assistant beginning of like Monday morning and Friday morning, the beginning of my week and the end of the week to review my list, what her list is, and also the end of the week to review what needs to be done for the weekend and what happened for this week, and just to kind of touch base. We touch base daily, but it's just more like a schedule planning. And so that's when it comes to planning. Also, let's see. Okay, so I want to go over my schedule now. I wanted to make sure I set some time for this. Okay. I can go a little slower for this because I have a lot to share with you about my schedule. And I want you to know something before I give you my schedule. I have to give you my disclaimer. My disclaimer before I give you my schedule. I want you to know that for Christine, I feel complete at the end of a day that I've had a powerful day. When I have had a great day, like I feel like, not just things went my way because things just don't go your way, but when I planned for a powerful day and I got my 2 bookings, had some great, interactions and met some great new people or booked some great new appointments or possibilities or network. Like when I got coached, had great coaching calls, when I, had a great party or appointment, nothing fills me more than when I have a great party or a great day, right? So know that as you see the schedule, know that what fills my cup, having powerful days ignites me to want to have more powerful days, because powerful days lead to powerful weeks, and powerful weeks lead to powerful months, and powerful months lead to powerful years. It takes those like we've talked before, those quiet moments, the moment by moment decisions when you're like, okay, I could do this, or I could call my friend, or I could book an appointment, or I could just go and do laundry, or I could go to this thing, or my Mary Kay meeting, or just go to the movies instead. So just like silly examples, but it really helps me when I have a powerful day is because I plan for a powerful day. So also, nothing frustrates me more than having an unproductive day. I catch myself when I'm testy at the end of the night, and I can get testy. I find it because I was frustrated with myself, not anybody else, that I didn't have a powerful day. So what ignites you? Maybe you're thinking, gosh, Christine, having a lazy day ignites me. Okay, maybe you need to plan for a lazy day, 1 day a week, or an hour of laziness. An hour of laziness, because the whole day is too much. But for me, that actually makes me frustrated. So, and I also want to share with you my other disclaimer is that every year, my husband and I sit down in January, beginning of January, and you can still do it, and set our priorities for the year, our top priorities. And one of them this year for us was restructuring our kids' schedule and prioritizing family dinners, not just feeding our kids, because that's easy when they're little, you just feed them and you're talking to each other, but like you're not having a family dinner. So for us with our new home, one of our dreams was with our new home to have family dinners, because that's what we wanted the space for, and having our big table. And so that was a big part of creating our schedule. Also, part of my prioritization in creating my schedule was I love my time. I love my time with my kids, but I love time with my husband. I know my husband and I have a tradition every night. We'll have dinner late together. The kids go to bed. We'll have dinner late. We'll watch our favorite Netflix shows. We don't watch TV, but we do watch. We have always a show we're watching, and then we like to watch Game of Thrones and different Netflix things. So for us, that time before bed, like we like to have an hour, because his love language is quality time, and I love giving him that gift. So we like to watch our movies together, have a glass of wine, have dinner. So with that said, we made some adjustments this year. So where you have to make adjustments in your schedule to fit your priorities, and that meant for us this year that we like to have dinners together, but right now our priority is having dinner with our children and having conversations and creating memories and creating things that we know as kids we needed and we had. And so then we'll have a night, then when during Netflix time, we'll have our glass of wine and dessert instead. So things will change in your life, but are you adjusting as you go? Or are you just kind of letting your day in life happen and not, creating a schedule? So here's my schedule, and I hope this empowers you. And I will tell you, one of the things I will also mention is that TD Jakes freed me. I went to a global leadership summit a couple of years back, and I always struggled with, like, how do you know, like, balance? How do you balance it all? And TD Jakes, pastor of a, gosh, great church, and he's author of books and so many things. You can look him up, TD Jakes. But he said, touch everything and hold nothing. Touch everything and hold nothing. And that what that freed me is because, gosh, you may have a really powerful Mary Kay day, and maybe you didn't get the chance to spend as much time with your husband or maybe on your other thing as you wanted to, but gosh, the next day is going to be a great mom day. And so it's just touching. It's not that you're, gosh, if you've been all day this week, the perfect mom, and you went to every single thing you didn't, and that means that you didn't book anything for the week. Gosh, but you might just be some Mary Kay in there, so touch everything, hold nothing. That freed me, whatever that means for you, that I know what it means for me. So first, Sunday is a day of rest. I remember the day 6 years ago that this became a decision because I used to work on Sundays and I never found joy in it. So Sundays are a day of rest. I go to church. We do a family lunch and brunch, and we spend time with the family. And then I'll slip into my office for an hour and dedicate, an hour to planning my week. I love having my powerful days, my power days, Monday and Tuesday. That's a personal preference for me. But gosh, those are my longer days. Those are my longer days because I choose that, because I want to have it up front of the week so I can have a powerful day. But gosh, Monday, I'm reviewing what happened over the weekend. The people that I saw, the potentials that I have, following up with career chats from faces over the weekend because my party day is Saturday. And so even coordinating, planning ahead. I'm looking on Monday to plan ahead. Like, what do I have this week? Who's my guest for this Thursday? Do I have my 3 parties lined up for this week? Who do I need to coach for this week? So it's really a lot of the looking back and looking ahead day. It's a very important day for me, which is why I choose to work from home that day. And some of you that work full time, I've suggested that could be your day of organization and planning, because not organization, but your day of follow up, because that's your first day of the week. So that's my day of follow up for the weekend, looking ahead. And because family dinners are important, gosh, what I do is that is my day that starting at 3 p.m., it's mommy hat, mommy hat from 3 to 5. It is all about mommy mode. I go to speech therapy. I'm with my son. I take him around, like we do like ice cream or whatever. 3 to 5 is that time. And then 5 to 6:30, I put on my Mary Kay hat. And that's when I'm making the calls that I can't make during the day. People are working. So whether it's finishing booking calls, someone told me to call them after work, whether it's calling a potential I had from the weekend that maybe I couldn't reach over the weekend that needs to do a career chat. That's my time. It's my hour and a half to really pack it in, which is why I like having my nanny there. If I can not feel guilty about that time away, right? So somebody's there. And then I have from 6:30 to 8:30, it's family time. Mommy hat is back on again. And that's family time, dinner time, story time, bedtime. I love that time. And then I'll step back into my office from 8:30 to 10 when the kids are asleep. This is a fun part. Most people don't want to do this part, the extra mile, because I'm getting ready for my conference call, making sure my consultants are on the call. It's my time to get ready for the next day, plan the next day. And then I'll have a Netflix show with my husband over a glass of wine from 10 to 11, and then go to bed, read my book, all that. So that works for me. So Tuesday, gosh, that's, and by the way, Monday, there's gym in the morning. So Tuesday, I have my gym time, right? It's my leader day, director day, moving up the leaders. I also have my booking in there too. I love to book Tuesdays, and Tuesdays are my days that I like to have appointments in the morning. I love a morning facial, morning double facial, morning little party with my moms at school that are off available, the moms I meet at gymnastics for speech therapy that are available in the morning, and maybe the people I can squeeze into their workplaces. So those are the mornings I like to do that. But Tuesday's my longer day. Those are the days, I have 2 nights out, Tuesday night and Thursday night. That works for me with my little ones. So Tuesday night, so I have dinners at home 5 days a week and 7 days of the week. Gosh, I'm out and I'm home for dinner time. But 2 days I'm out. So Tuesday's a day that, gosh, that's when I'm holding the party or the debut, or that I'm doing the career conversations or career coffees, the people that are available not during the daytime. There's also orientation nights that I could do. So that's my longer night out. And I feel freeless. I don't feel guilty because I was home on Monday. I'm home early Wednesday. So I can, you can make your schedule. So, and on Wednesdays is my personal day. I love Wednesdays. Bible study in the morning, getting my cup filled. I schedule my hair appointments, nail appointments, personal errands. I still do get my bookings in even on my personal day. Doesn't exclude that day, right? But that's the day that I'm home earlier with my kids, and I take the time off to end early, and we'll have dinner early, and we'll get to just hang out as a family, because Thursday is my longer day too. Thursday is my night out. But guess what? Thursday, I'm confirming for my meeting. Who's my guest for the meeting? Am I confirming them? Looking at the week ahead. Who am I pre-profiling, right? And on Thursdays, I'll have morning appointments as well. If I can squeeze in a facial, double facial for those moms that I can see, or people I can see, the people that maybe nurses have different schedules. That's who I see But on Thursdays, I love that Thursday is Robert's favorite day too. Just because it's my Mary Kay night doesn't mean that he has to feel like he's babysitter. I love that on Thursday nights is his guy night. And on Thursday nights, he brings his best guy friends over. I take the kids to my mother-in-law's house because it is their night with them. They cherish their grandchildren. And I used to feel guilty thinking, oh gosh, do they want to babysit? My in-laws want nothing more than to spend time with my children. So I give them the pleasure of being with my kids and having dinner with them and celebrating those memories every Thursday. They look forward. That's her favorite night of the week. I gotta tell you, and my husband's favorite night of the week. So Mary Kay night should not be the people in your family's life worst night of the week. It should be their favorite. So how can you coordinate to make it their favorite night of the week? And then on Friday, I have by the way, on Thursdays, Mary Kay mom has on from 2 o'clock all the way to the meeting because I'm taking good speech therapy, picking the kids up, spending time bathing and getting them ready, getting ready for my meeting, taking my in-laws, having conversations in the car, and then go to my meeting. So that's mom time too, right? Fridays, and I maximize because those conversations are powerful, talking in the car, talking on the rides, making those talks powerful. And Friday, I love Fridays. Fridays are power days. Those are my delivery days. I schedule delivery days. So I'm not running around. I schedule personal days and delivery days because if not, we just jump at people's demand. Oh, can you come tomorrow? Well, my delivery day's on Friday. Would that work for you? And if they need it earlier, then I might schedule it on my personal day. But my Wednesdays, my personal day. So if I ever have to scramble and make a kid's appointment that's not an emergency, I'll make it Wednesday. So I'm not scrambling on other days and losing time from other things that are a priority. So personal day and my delivery day, I think, are two important things that I would instill into your schedule so you don't run around crazy. Of course, people need things sooner sometimes, but it helps you kind of frame your week ideally. So Friday's my power day, booking. Oh, I love booking in the mornings, 9 to 1. I love booking from 4 to 6 o'clock. And then my mom has on from 3 to 5, 3 to 6, 3 to 4, sorry. And then basically that night is our family night, game night. We do movie or we're going to pizza or it's family night. I tell you this because I used to book parties on Fridays. And as a mom, I found that that's not where I find my joy right now. I'd rather be off Friday nights, like have a power day Saturday and be off on Sunday, but I pack in my Saturday. And Saturday is powerful. Saturday, I'm usually out by 8:30, 9 o'clock, whether it's a delivery I need to make before the party, but usually it's an appointment by 9:30, an appointment by 12:30, an appointment I can squeeze in between 3:30 and 4, and I'm usually home and done by 5, 6 o'clock, but it's my power day to be off on Sunday, to be off Friday, to have an early day by my personal day Wednesday. Those are the things that I've scheduled in. And then I do it again. And so I will tell you that, gosh, I never wanted my husband to feel like Mary Kay meant babysitting. So Saturdays, by the way, my greatest joy for my parents is spending time with my children. So they get to make breakfast on Saturday mornings. That's their day with my parents. So my husband still doesn't feel like Mary Kay's babysitting because they love Saturdays. They're going over in just a little bit to have breakfast. Mimi makes pancakes. They love Mimi's pancakes. And they will go outside with my dad and play in the backyard and play with the dog. Like that is their day. So I don't feel guilty that my parents are going to be with them because that's their one day of the week that they get to spend time with them. And my dad looks forward to that. So I think we feel guilty sometimes of delegating or asking somebody when that can be such a precious time with people. So with that said, I know I'm gone over my time, but I want to show you a couple of things that I always mentally check in with. I always check by the 5th of the month. Do I have 8 to 10 appointments? By the 5th, today's the 2nd. By the 5th of the month, I always check in. It's one of my systems. Do I have 8 appointments? And I check in with my leaders. Do they have 8 appointments? Do I always have at least 10 appointments in my books at all times? It's a check-in point. Mary Kay always taught that. Do you have 10 appointments in your books at all times? Because things will fall through. Things will, flip around. I always ask myself at the beginning of the week, who are my guests for this week's success event? Whenever the next success event is, because showing up is not negotiable, right? Who's my guest? I had a guest this week. I had a guest last week. I'm always thinking, who's my guest? Because I want to make sure I'm maximizing the time that I'm away from my kids, right? I'm always focusing on, excuse me here. What is new who is new that I have to talk to today? Who do I have to book today? My question is always who I'm booking for the next day. Who I have to book today? Who are my 2 today? Simple habit, two a day takes the scaries away. And then I do a check-in the middle of the month to see. I don't wait till the end of the month where I'm not where I want to be. I check in mid-month and where do I have to catch up or speed up? Do I have enough faces in for the month based on the goal that I set for the beginning of the month? And just some check-in points. I just want you to know that I don't want my schedule to be like, oh gosh, I need to have that schedule, but my goal is very big. Is your goal really big? My priorities have been met. I have the time with my children that I need, that I'm happy with, time with my husband that he needs and he wants, and I'm making sure that I'm getting my work done and I'm allowing the time for the things that are most important to me. So I just challenge you to think what's important to you. What are some priorities? Maybe having a conversation with your husband or your children about the priorities for your family. Your family dynamics are different than my family dynamics. This will change probably. I just changed the schedule in January because the schedule I made when Lucas started school, it wasn't bringing me joy. And this schedule is igniting me and exciting me and bringing me joy. Does your schedule bring you joy? Does it empower you? Because if you're always Mary Kay, your family gets frustrated. And if you're not enough Mary Kay, you get frustrated, you're not doing what you need to do. But is it income producing? Is it the right activity? Are you doing the planning that's necessary? And are you delegating enough so that you can have the freedom that you need to have when you're off, so you can enjoy the people that you love the most? So, gosh, I think I went over time, but I just was so passionate about all these things. And I just hope that this helps somebody, and you can pick one system, two, or maybe more that fits for your life in this season. Thank you, Auri.
Oh my goodness, that is awesome. I love it. I was taking notes, and I do have a question for you. Now, for those of you that don't know, Christine finished 90 faces in 90 days over the holidays. So she started in November, December, and finished in January. So I'm sharing that with you guys is because she doesn't just have customers. She doesn't just run her unit. She also has like 10 Mary Kay sales directors that she leads. And so this is important for you to understand that that alone is a full-time job, but then she also has her customer base. And so this is so that you can see, okay, how in the world is she almost a national sales director? And you build it little by little. I know when I started Mary Kay, I decided to do one party a week. And you guys, I did that party every Friday night. I was consistent about it. I didn't just do it some nights. I didn't just say, oh, it canceled. No, you guys, you cannot have a passive attitude and get anywhere in life. You must be intentional on purpose in order to have success, and you become like the people you hang around. You know, maybe the people you hang around are very passive. They're not this intentional, but they also don't live passionate, inspired lives. Do you want to look back and say, I lived a passive life? Christine, when you were telling us your schedule Friday morning, I couldn't type fast enough. I know that you do booking time from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. and that you don't do parties on Friday night. But what was the other thing you said about after booking on Fridays, 9 a.m. to 1 p.m.?
So I love, I love to book. Can you hear me? Oh, I love to book. Also, people are a good week on Fridays. I do book like pretty much throughout the week, right? But on Fridays, I booked yesterday, like 9 to 1s people if they're at work. If I don't have a morning appointment, they're at work and they're usually responsive because they want to be in the weekend mode. And I love booking around 4 o'clock. The teachers that I can reach early or people that leave home to pick up their kids between 4 and 6, I find there's a great booking time and phone time. And so I just like those little windows for me. But I like my favorite windows are between morning 9 to 1, or my favorite windows are also after work or even before bed. A lot of mommies that have little ones, I like to actually call them after 8, between 8 and 9 o'clock at night. They do respond. So every day we'll have a different little window, but I make sure I have my 2 bookings a day. So my priority is the night before to see what little window I have, because on every day is different. On Wednesday, I book after Bible study for about an hour, and then I'll go on my personal stuff. So I squeeze in even my personal day, some booking calls, because some people you can only reach certain times. So that helps.
So you booked 9 to 1 and 4 to 6 and sometimes 8 to 9. But what was the other stuff you did Friday?
Oh,
my delivery day, my
delivery day. That's my day for coaching for the weekend. Coaching.
Oh, coaching. So from 1 to 4, you'll do deliveries and coach.
And deliveries. Yeah, deliveries. Yeah, those are my and also coaching my key consultants for their parties on the weekend. My new consultants for parties on the weekend, coaching for the weekend ahead.
Perfect. Awesome. Thank you for sharing that, because I was like, that was like the only part that was like, I can't type fast enough.
I can send my weekly plan sheet to you.
Yes, that would be great. I love, but by the way, going fast for Christine gives her energy. Like yes, she loves it. We love it. I just keep up with her, which I love. It energizes me. It really does. You guys, successful people do consistently what other people do occasionally. What is a plan that you need to put in action so that you have a system to catch you when you don't feel like it, for when you have a craving to just binge on Netflix? You have a powerful day ahead of you. Saturdays are a power day. What are you doing to take advantage of this time together? I love so many of the things that you said. That go ahead and start right now. It's the beginning of the year. It really is. It's the beginning of the month. And she challenged you. What is really important to you? What are your family dynamics? You know, is it an income producing activity, and is it the right activity? And are you delegating enough? If you're not sure about delegation, I'm going to challenge you to read Proverbs 31. You can just Google Proverbs 31, and you're going to read about a very successful woman that her children called her honored, and her husband said that she was more precious than rubies. It is a woman who's an entrepreneur, a seller, who owned land, who owned businesses, who owned property, who sold, who managed her workers, her employees, and you're going to hear a lot of delegation in there. And so if you think that, oh, I just need to like settle back, and I think as women, we're not encouraged enough to take lead, but I want you to know that that is not what God wants. God gave you a gift and he wants you to use it. I pray that this morning has been powerful for you, that you have learned a lot, and that it has stretched you and grown you to see the woman that you want to become. I know that you're gleaning from Christine, and you can see the level of inspiration that she has. Christine, I know you said you have a huge goal. Would you please share with us your huge goal that you have? Because I want everybody to hear it.
Yay. Oh, can you hear me? There we go. But I forgot to mention, I do delegate meals. Did I say that? I do delegate meals. I don't find maybe you do, but I do not. But I delegate meals for myself, my husband, and my family. But yes, my huge goal is to be a national sales director. And I know that in this season, what really God has called me to ask myself is, who is a leader that I'm becoming? Because I know that I'm an example for the leaders that, godly leadership is so important. And the example we said is so important. So I believe that that by being a better person with my structure, my day, and my planning, that I will inspire others to live a better life. And so, because my ultimate goal as a fearless national director is to help as many women as possible, as many women as God has called, to live out the best life that God has called them to live. And we don't live our best lives by being lazy, by being complacent, or by not challenging ourselves or challenging others to be better. So I hope this challenges you to be better, no matter what your big God-sized goal is. I don't mind working hard for my big goal. I don't mind being out late for my big goal. As long as my priorities are met, my family's needs are met, I am there. I'm a loving mother, wife, supporter. My priority number one is God, my husband, my children, and then of course my business and leadership. Godly leadership is important. It is a calling, and I don't take it lightly. So I will work hard for it. So that is my goal, and that is my dream. And I think Auri, for example, because I was able to put a picture in my head of what that looked like by watching her example. So who are you painting a picture for by your example?
Awesome. Well, we'll end on that note, you guys. I don't mind working hard for my big goal as long as my priorities are straight. So when your priorities are straight, you have a system to catch you, and it gives you freedom to run as fast as you want. Christine, thank you so much for empowering us this day. I appreciate you. Thank you guys for being on our Driven Powwow in the month of February. Have a powerful, pink, intentional, and on purpose week and month. I love you guys. Bye.